Yo, what's going on? This is Mike, and I am the Sports Dope. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at that Sports Dope. If you're interested in finding any of my social media icons other than that, you can go to mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope. There are a bunch of icons up there, like the iTunes link and the YouTube link. And even if you wanted to read my dumb Reddit comments, there's a little alien there. You click on it, you see my Reddit account. And yeah, eventually I'm going to have a little bit nicer artwork up there, courtesy of my BFF Andrea Fowler at AndreaFowlerDesign.com. That's Andrea, Fowler design.com. She's fucking awesome. And when I have some very nice logos and covers and shit like that, in a week or so, that's where it came from. It's fucking sick. But me, I'm Mike. I am just your regular neighborhood degenerate, standing on the fucking corner. You walk by him to get your newspaper, or nobody fucking reads newspapers anymore. Or maybe your coffee or whatever the fuck it is you're going to get at the corner store there. And, you just stop and chat for a second. And what are you going to chat about? Like, yo, who do you like tonight? Oh, well, I like the Chargers. The Chargers? You're a fucking idiot. Why would you like the Chargers? Chargers play like dog shit except for last week, and all of a sudden you're going to bet on them? Yeah, that's me. That's that guy on the corner. And for the record, I was the Raiders guy. So, looking decent right now. Third quarter. It's on the corner TV there. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you see my eyes keep darting over to the left or whatever fucking way you're watching me. Yeah, game's on. I just hope that third quarter, 10 o'clock on the East Coast, I just hope they score a couple more points because got a little teaser action going with the over 42. Also teased the old Raiders. So, and I teased him with the Monday night game with the Cowboys, and that already fucking won. But yeah. So, what we're here tonight to talk about, though, we're going to do a little bit of Week 10 daily fantasy. As per usual, we will do a quick recap of the lineups we put out last week. Spoiler alert, they were decent, but not good enough. And then we're going to go through two lineups this week. One of the lineups being for the Millionaire Maker, which is like $100 this week, so I'm not diving in. But, found a different contest I'm diving into. And then, so that one only encompasses the 1 and 4 o'clock games. And I'm going to give you another lineup, one that does basically Sunday through Monday, because that's, what my friends do. Because, you got to keep it alive a little bit, right? I love taking a Monday night guy and then being like, oh, my God, if he scores 58 points, I'll be in the money. This is going to be sick. And it's like a fucking defense, but, whatever. So let's dive right in, talk about the lineup we gave out last week, the one that encompassed all the games, the non-millionaire maker one. This one was decent. Both of the lineups scored right around the same. Like, one of them was 157, the other one was 159. Unfortunately, the higher one, which was in the Millionaire Maker, did not get high enough to cash anything. But the one that was slightly lower, I played it in a smaller contest of about, how many people were in? About 3,000 people or so. Came in like 700th and, got a couple bucks. Nothing special, nothing crazy, more than the price of admission. Like $10 on a $5 contest. Whatever. I will fucking take it. I'll take anything positive. So, again, diving in. So, the lineup that encompassed all the games, included everybody. We went with Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf as the stack. See, the stack of the week was Wilson and Lockett. We went Wilson and Metcalf. Saved a couple bucks. Should have went higher, and we'll talk about where we screwed up spending big money. But Wilson and Metcalf, still a fucking solid combo. 72 points between the two of them. Mint. I'll take it. If you would have went Lockett, though, it would have been in the 80s. That's sick. For the running backs, we went Derrick Henry. He went to Carolina. Still had a solid game. 25 points. Can't beat that. Rushing touchdown. Couple catches even. He's not known to be a ball catcher, but he's been catching balls. So it's good for him. Very solid. So here's where we fucked up. And a lot of people did because 25% of the people in this contest had him. That's Aaron Jones. We paid big money for him, and he did not work out. He had negative receiving yards after having just tons and tons and tons of receiving yards. Negative receiving yards, 1 catch, and only 30 rushing yards. Terrible day. Very, very bad day. 3.9 points. Nobody wants that, especially where you're paying, like, what did we pay for this guy? $7,000. Stop it. We should have paid off for Tyler Lockett and got somebody cheaper and better. In the wide receiver categories, we already talked about DK Metcalf. Outside of that, we went with Robbie Anderson. I thought the Jets would be able to toast Miami a little bit. No Xavier Howard in the backfield, playing DB back there. So I thought Robbie Anderson, some of those guys might have had themselves a day, but it did not happen. He only had 5 points on 2 catches. And Mohamed Sanu, I went with him because, the new guys in New England, they tend to eat. And he ate yesterday. Solid. 24 points, touchdown, 10 catches. 10 catches. I was, half asleep for this game, though. I wish I would have been able to pay attention to it better, but unfortunately, I was extremely hungover all day and passed out. But Mohamed Sanu, solid game, came through big time. And for a fairly reasonable price tag of $4,500. Not bad at all. Good production there. Tight end, we went TJ Hawkinson. Detroit was in Oakland. He had 3 catches for 56 yards, but nothing in the end zone, and therefore not a game we're really looking for. Next up in the flex spot, we went big money Monday night. Zeke Elliott at the Giants. He had a ton of yards, but no touchdowns. So really all you got was the 139 yards and the bonus for about 17 points. If he gets in the end zone, it's worth it. It's worth it. We went super cheap. We went with the Redskins defense. We figured they were playing Buffalo. And even though Buffalo's got a solid defense and they're a playoff team, their offense is not good. And figured the Redskins on the cheap could have been okay. They were not. They gave up 24 points and only got 2 sacks for a whopping 2 points. Total of this guy was 157.9, and like I said, cashed a couple bucks. All right, moving on. Millionaire Maker lineup actually got more points, and like I've always said, we always got to go a little bit weird with those big money contests, those contests with a lot of people, because you got to separate yourself from the pack somehow. And our stack for this one was Ryan Fitzpatrick and Devontae Parker. Now, this was a decent stack for a cheap day. Like, this stack cost me, let's see, Fitzpatrick was $4,800 and Devontae Parker was $4,400. The stack cost me less than like Dalvin Cook. And it got more points than Dalvin Cook. 23 points for Fitzpatrick, 15 for Devontae Parker. The right guy was, I think, is Preston Williams, but he got hurt in the game. He's out for the year. But yeah, Fitz and Devontae Parker, not terrible, 23-15. After that, we went Nick Chubb. Figured they would be running the ball a lot in Denver. Turns out Cleveland is a dumpster fire, and they got smoked by a first-time ever. Guy took his first snaps after being in the NFL for 3 years, and he beats the highly touted Cleveland Browns in the hometown over there. So Nick Chubb only got us 13 points. Dalvin Cook also... I thought he was going to have a monster game. Kansas City, come on, they don't stop anybody at all. And there they are, holding Dalvin Cook down. Like, still a fairly modest day, but out of the end zone, only 45 yards in the air, 71 on the ground, 4 catches, 15 points and change. We were trying to get cute. And actually, I was kind of shocked at how many people took this guy. But Danny Amendola, almost 19% of people took him. Like, that's almost 1 out of 5 for Danny Amendola. I thought that was pretty sneaky. And guess what? Those almost 20%, fucking idiots. He only had 3 catches, 29 yards. That was some weird, cute play. We did go with Tyler Lockett in this lineup, and he dominated. It was fantastic. He had 13 catches, 152 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 43 points. Absolute domination for Tyler Lockett. We already talked about Devontae Parker and his almost 16-point output. Another thing we got a little bit cute on, the Philly tight end situation. We almost declared Zach Ertz dead. Life support maybe. Went with Dallas Goedert. Guess what? Zach Ertz had himself a game. Dallas Goedert, not so much. 4 catches, 39 yards. Nothing too serious. And in the flex spot, we went Josh Jacobs, who had himself a monster game also. 27 points off of 2 touchdowns, 120 yards. And, yeah, just, those Raiders. Oh, my God, the Chargers are about to score now. I don't even know how the fuck that happened. Anyway, speaking of the Chargers, they were the defense there. Went with the defense. That was actually shockingly a solid play. They didn't score too well because, they held them down in points, but the peripheral numbers weren't super there. Only had 3 sacks to go along with, giving up 11 points for 7 points. And we were at 159 on the board for that. Came in about 50,000th out of, how many people were in this? 176,000. So, hey, top third, right? Yeah, definitely top third. All right. Like I said, our goal, we want to crack 1,000. We want to get into the triple digits. That's what we're going with. That's what we're hoping for. And that is the goal for this week. So let's dive into that shit. Okay? So first lineup we're going to talk about is the one that encompasses all the games starting at 1 o'clock. So Sunday, Monday night are included in this. And we are going to stack the Monday night game. So, like I said, love having a little bit of action still on Monday night. And when you got a stack on Monday night, you're thinking to yourself, I could get 80 here. Come on. You could definitely think that to yourself. So we're going with Jimmy G and Emmanuel Sanders. Ever since Emmanuel Sanders has got there, Jimmy G has been in love, and Emmanuel Sanders reciprocates those feelings, not only because Jimmy G is a gorgeous man, but also because he throws him the ball a lot. And I like that to stay happening against a terrible Seattle Seahawks defense in San Fran. I really like San Fran, really like this over. And I'm going to go with Jimmy G at 6,300 and stack him with Emmanuel Sanders at 6,800. Seahawks just got torn up, and there's no reason to think it won't happen again. Let's see, moving on, going to some running backs here. I can't believe this guy was so cheap. He just had a solid game. I am not, typically somebody who doubles up on somebody who just had a good game, but give me Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones, $4,300. Bruce Arians said he's going to be the man going forward in the backfield. Listen, at some point, you have to think to yourself, hey, Jameis throws the ball to the other team a lot. Maybe I should run the ball with this guy who just fucking gashed up. Sure, it was Seattle, but he still gashed them. And Arizona's not much better against the run. So give me Ronald Jones, $4,300. He even got the goal line work. So let me take that. Absolutely. Next up, another running back. Look, this guy is going to be the best guy on the field in this game. The defenses are terrible. The offenses aren't much better. And I'm talking about Saquon Barkley, $8,800, paying big, expecting big results. I know he was kind of, average last week, and that's not what you're hoping for when you're paying $8,800. But look, the Jets, their best interior lineman is on the Giants now. So I don't really, I guess Quentin Williams. All right. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Leonard Williams is out there. Just stay away from that guy, and Barkley could do that. Bounce it to the outside, boom. Nobody's going to catch him. Barkley's going to go nuts in this game. Give me Barkley, $8,800. All right, we already talked about Emmanuel Sanders. So, look, here's another guy. I think this game's going to go way over the Jets and the Giants. So, I actually have quite a bit of Jets and Giants in this lineup here. So, I'm going to go with Golden Tate. $5,900. Evan Ingram is hurt. He's easily Danny Jones' favorite target. Throwing the ball a lot. I think this game is going to go way over. I already looked up the weather. It's supposed to be, a little chilly. It's the fucking Northeast. But the winds aren't going to be that bad. I think both of these guys, Barkley and Tate, going to put up solid numbers. Give me a 35 spot from Barkley and a 25 from Tate, and I will be happy. A happy man. And on the other side of the ball, the Giants defense is very bad also. And I like Jamison Crowder. Give me the guy in the slot, crossing the middle. Sam Darnold, when he's throwing the ball, is going to be looking short because the ghosts are downfield. So Jamison Crowder going across the middle, bunch of catches. I like that a lot. And the Giants won't be able to stop it. I think this is going to be a big over game. I talked about that the other day. Hopefully you listen to it. If not, hear it now. That game's going over. And I want a piece of, I don't know, a bunch of people. Give me a bunch of people in the Jets and Giants game. I don't care. I love it. Two terrible teams that are just, I feel like they're going to score the shit out of the ball. I don't know why. I just have a feeling this is going to be like, I don't know, like a 37-30 game or something along those lines. All right, next up, we're going to tight end. I love this guy. I've been riding this guy all year. Sounds sexy, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do when you're playing DraftKings, right? Don't ask, don't tell. I was a military guy, I know. So tight end, we're going Austin Hooper. Back off a bye, going to New Orleans. Atlanta, like they are every week, is going to be down big, and Matt Ryan's going to be chucking. Austin Hooper has been just phenomenal all year. No reason to think it's going to stop. And, you know, the Saints defense has been very good, but the Falcons still do have a good offense. The problem is they only stop the other team once a game, and they have no ability to get turnovers. They have no defensive playmakers. It's kind of embarrassing. It's sad, but hey, we'll take advantage of it in a bunch of high-scoring games. This is going to be one of them. Give me Austin Hooper for $5,500. Going back to the well on this guy, and I kind of gave it away a little bit beforehand as to why. So last week we stacked Fitz and Devontae Parker. We talked about how Devontae Parker got outplayed, I guess you could say. I wouldn't even say played because they both played well, but outscored by Preston Williams, I think his name was. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I forget off the top of my head. Anyway, but he's out, injured, hurt for the season. Miami should be down in this. Fitz will be chucking. Give me a piece of Devontae Parker in the flex, $4,800. He scored a touchdown, a couple catches last week. If, with the other guy out, I think he could, double up on that. Cheap option too, not bad. I like it a lot. In a dome, no weather, nothing to worry about like that. Yeah, give me that. Next up, defense. Last up, defense. This is what we're doing. Had to go a little bit cheap here. Not like too bad, but I do kind of like it. Sneaky good defense. I think they can get to the quarterback, and if they get to the quarterback, the whole thing falls apart because the running back is not there anymore. His arthritic knees are just, he left them in LA probably. And I'm talking about the Steelers. Give me the Steelers defense, $2,600. They're hosting the Rams. Rams coming off a bye. There's been a recent trend this year of teams coming off the bye when their bye is following a London game. They kind of come out a little flat. And the Rams, when you can get to Goff, they don't play well. And the Steelers have a sneaky good defensive line. They got some good edge rushers. They got a solid middle. They'll be able to stop Gurley. This, I'm not betting on the game, but I do like the Steelers in this one on the points. So that's what I got for this one. Let's recap real quick. We got Jimmy G and Emmanuel Sanders as the stacks. Ronald Jones and Saquon Barkley are the running backs. The other two wide receivers, we have Golden Tate and Jamison Crowder. God, that's a lot of Jets and Giants. I just have this gut feeling that it's going to be a fucking just ridiculously high-scoring game, like an unnecessarily high-scoring game for these two teams. You're like, where is this offense? And it's like, oh, yeah, the other teams all have better defenses, and your defense is terrible. That's why you guys are just scoring on each other. In the tight end spot, we're going Austin Hooper. Devontae Parker is in the flex, and we round out with the Steelers D. All right now. So, like I said, Millionaire Maker this week, $100. I'm not diving in that far. I want to save some money for gambling, actually, which I did. So I joined like a different $10 contest that has like 300,000 people or some shit in it. Excuse me. So again, big contest, a lot of entries. We got to go with a little bit out of a stack, something a little bit off the rails, right? Something a little weird. This is what I'm doing. I'm going Ryan Tannehill, and A.J. Brown. I've done the A.J. Brown thing before. Guy can absolutely break him. Tannehill has looked way better than Mariota, has the ability to throw it downfield, and they're playing the Kansas City defense at home. So I like that. It's a pretty cheap matchup, too. You get pretty much, once again, you get a quarterback and wide receiver for the price of fucking Dalvin Cook. And so Ryan Tannehill, $5,100. A.J. Brown, $4,300. Let me get pieces of both of those guys. Let me get pieces of people playing the KC defense. This guy played well last week, and I think the team itself is due for a letdown spot, but they're playing a team that's so bad that it's hard to even imagine a letdown spot because they are that good. And running the ball is hard to, be a letdown. it's hard to let down running the ball. Like, you just fucking run through the holes, and there's going to be holes all over the place because the Cincinnati defense is terrible, and I'm talking about Mark Ingram. Let me get Mark Ingram. He's going to run the ball early and often, and then they're going to be up, and he's going to close the game out. And Mark Ingram, $7,100. I look for him to do big things this weekend. Another guy I expect big things from this weekend. Let me get Marlon Mack. They're hosting Miami. I think they could just run the ball, especially if it's going to be Hoyer in this game. I don't think they're going to trust him fully. Like, he's serviceable and stuff, but, like, why even risk it? Why give the Miami Dolphins even the sniff of an opportunity by giving them interceptions or anything like that? And I like Marlon Mack in this game. He's going to, just like Mark Ingram, he's going to start out running the ball. They're going to get a lead. He's going to close the game running the ball. And, hopefully Fitz throws a couple of passes to Devontae Parker in the process. But give me Marlon Mack, $7,000. Wide receiver block. We already talked about A.J. Brown. Next wide receiver we have, let me get Chris Godwin, right? I know Mike Evans has been the king of the castle the last couple of weeks, but I'm looking for a Godwin game this week. Patrick Peterson, he's a little bit older, but he's fresh because he was fucking suspended. And you know what? He's a physical guy. And Mike Evans, absolutely, people are talking about him as the best receiver in the fucking league right now, and he's absolutely showing it by the numbers. But I think Patrick Peterson can make the day a little bit difficult for him, and if it's just a little bit difficult, Jameis just has to look to the other side of the field, and boom, who's over there? Chris Godwin, $7,400 against a bad Arizona secondary, with the exception of Patrick Peterson, who most likely will be on Mike Evans. Next wide receiver. Yo, I can't believe I'm doing this. It's another Giant. Let me get Darius Slayton. He's the big, deep threat for Danny Jones over there. And I think they're going to take a couple deep shots against this Jets secondary. So Golden Tate, lots of catches, lots of points that way, lots of yards after the catch. Saquon, lots of rushing, even a couple of receptions. And even Darius Slayton, give me a couple of deep balls. Right? Evan Ingram's not there, so it's okay. 3 people can eat in this game. I don't know why. I just feel it. So Darius Slayton's got a rapport with Danny Jones. I like him for a cheap option, $4,200. We're going to the tight end slot, and we're going with Tej again. TJ Hawkinson. The Lions, they're going to the Bears. The Bears' outside corners, they can cover. But guess what? They're not great against the tight ends. I'm looking for a big game from TJ Hawkinson because Matt Stafford is going to have to throw the ball a little bit because, A, they don't have a running game because they don't have a real running back on the roster anymore. And the Bears' defense, good against the run. Pretty decent against the run. So the place that you can beat them is up that seam. You go up the seam with the tight end. Matt Stafford hits him. That's where you beat him. I like a big game from TJ this week. Big game for TJ Hawk, Mr. Hawkinson. All right, we had a bunch of money left over. We had a pretty decent amount of money left over. A little over 10 G's here. We got flex and defense left. 10 G's. I'm going Michael Thomas. Give me Michael Thomas. Drew Brees off a bye. Came back after his long hiatus from the thumb injury. Played well. Now he's got another week off to chill. Michael Thomas, another 10-catch game. Definitely not out of the realm of possibility. He loves this guy. He's going to chuck it to him every chance that he gets. He's the first person he looks at when he drops back. And there's no reason to think that Drew Brees and Mike Thomas are not going to connect for a touchdown, if not 2, against these Falcons in home. Like, they're going to want to go out there and destroy him. I am betting on the Falcons, to be completely honest, which is a bold thing to say in public. They're getting a lot of points, and I think the game's going to be close, but I like Michael Thomas in this spot, catching a ton of balls and a couple of touchdowns. $8,300, you're paying for it, so you should get it. All right, Last thing we got to talk about here is the defense. Defense. Yo, when I was looking at the betting lines, right? The Buffalo Bills are going to Cleveland. I liked the Bills, and then all of a sudden, like, I noticed all the money and everything. I think people are expecting a big game from Cleveland. I don't know why, but I think they are. And Buffalo doesn't have a good defense, or offense rather. They have an excellent defense. And I didn't want to pay up for the Buffalo defense against a fluttering Cleveland team. But I had $2,500, and that's how much the Browns were. And the Browns do have a fairly decent defense. And they're playing at home, and they're playing a very mediocre, and mediocre is being kind, offense. So, yeah, give me the Cleveland Brown defense at $2,500. So let's recap if you want to throw this in the Millionaire Maker, but, too rich for my blood this week. Big contest lineup. I'm going with Ryan Tannehill, Mark Ingram, Marlon Mack, Chris Godwin, A.J. Brown, Darius Slayton, T.J. Hawkinson, Mike Thomas, and the Browns defense. And I got $200 left over. So hopefully I could take out, a couple thousand with this contest. So that's what we got. That's what we got this week. Good luck to everybody out there. Once again, my name is Mike. I am the Sports Dope. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ThatSportsDope. If you go to mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope, you'll see a bunch of social media icons on the top right. If you found this on YouTube and you want to take it on the go with iTunes, you click on the iTunes link. Found it on iTunes and you want to watch my stupid face and my dumb robe over here, that's your business. You go there, you click the YouTube link, and you find it. Once the shit looks real pretty with a bunch of Sports Dope fucking logos, you can get your own graphic designs and many more things at AndreaFowlerDesign.com. All right, that's all I got for this week. Good luck out there. Once again, I'm going to be putting together some deep dive shit next week, with some maybe sneaky futures or something like that. I just got to have the time to dive in. I just haven't had it yet. I'm sorry. But that's it for me. Peace out. Good luck. Enjoy the weekend. Later.